Day in the nation's history. These are live pictures of New York City, where memorials for the 9/11 anniversary will begin in just a few hours. And this is a live view of the Statue of Liberty.
Today marks 5 years since the September 11th terror attacks. In the first stop of nearly 24 hours of observances, US President George W. Bush and First Lady Laura Bush went to New York. They laid wreaths on Sunday in pools of water where the World Trade Center's Twin Towers once stood. The President and First Lady also attended a special service at nearby St. Paul's Chapel. The 240-year-old church escaped damage when the Trade Center towers collapsed and became a refuge for rescue workers.
More than 2,700 people died in the collapse of the World Trade Center's Twin Towers, but thousands did make it out alive. Elia Zdeno escaped from the 73rd floor of the North Tower. She explained how she deals with the memories of that day and of the colleagues she lost.
There's no day that goes by that I don't think about September 11th. The difference between now and, let's say, 2 years ago is that now when I think about it, I'm able to go on with my day, whereas 3 years ago, it would stop me and basically I was stuck in that day. It would just basically ruin my day. I've been able to get over that fear and being able to put the event into the past, allowing the present moment to be with me always.
Several firefighters who responded to the attacks on the World Trade Center will meet with Mr. Bush later today.
Suzanne Malveaux is following the ceremonies the US President is attending. She filed this report on Sunday as Mr. Bush was taking part in ceremonies at New York.
At this hour, the President is still at the Ground Zero site. He just was visiting with a firehouse, firemen from a local firehouse, and also going through a visitor center that pays tribute to the victims of the September 11th attacks. It was earlier in the afternoon we saw the President and the First Lady laying a wreath at what is a footprint of the North Tower. It is a small pool of water that really signifies where that building, the middle of that building, once stood. The President and the First Lady also laying a wreath at the same kind of reflective pool at the South Tower before attending a prayer and memorial service, a service of remembrance at St. Paul's Chapel, a very important place for so many New Yorkers. It was there the first 8 months after the September 11th attacks. Hundreds of people gathered, firefighters, police, volunteers. They gave each other food, offered prayers, just a pat on the back during those most difficult times. Now, the White House is really engaged in a very delicate balancing act here. They are saying this is not an event that should be politicized. Democrats say they believe that is just what is happening. It is important to note that it's 2 months until the congressional midterm elections. The President and the White House have been very much engaged in an aggressive campaign